This is top 10 things that we watched this year.
So it could be anything from TV shows to movies. We have a couple of YouTube channels on there.
Trailers.
So,
Movie
trailers.
Should we do like a voice like number 10?
Number 10.
Maybe not. Number 10, The Flash. The Flash kind of took off from the spirit of Arrow and then did a not as depressing TV show. They did a very good job staying in the vein of a lighthearted comic book TV show. The acting is really good for the most part.
A lot of the script is very cliche, like a lot of these one-liners.
It's Tom Cavanaugh and Grant Gustin. Did a fantastic job. And then, of course, the original Flash actor being in there as well.
Yes, that was really cool.
And we have a tie for 8 and 9. We'll call it Nate. Nate.
Shout out to all Nates out there.
Yeah. Number Nate is both Markiplier and Dan and Phil Play Games. Playing Five Nights at Freddy's. Because if we've learned anything, it's that jump scares are funny if you watch other people be jump scared. Markiplier on one side, who's he's just a funny guy. He's got a great radio voice too. He should be broadcasting stuff like that, and he just has the best facial expressions of that. And then you have Dan and Phil, which nothing is funnier than British people. Specifically British, like young adults playing these games.
They both have like very contrasting personalities, and so like when you get them together doing stuff, you have Dan who's kind of the more sarcastic and just kind of like whatever, and then Phil's kind of more just like, hey, let's be optimistic about stuff. It's really funny when you put them together, and like when they play a game, it's just hilarious.
It is. Number 7. Which is the Batman v Superman trailer. I think if there's one thing we can count on, I know, I'm alone here. Visually, this movie will be spectacular.
Oh, visually, for sure.
Visually, because Zack Snyder, that's what he does. It's gonna be the comic book Batman.
That's what I really like. We're gonna get a good look at, like, Robin, and apparently they're doing a lot of stuff from Death and Family and Under the Red Hood.
One thing we want is Wonder Woman. We want a good Wonder Woman.
Hell yeah! We want Wonder Woman!
It's Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
I'm concerned
for me. Sorry, Jesse Eisenberg, we're not on board.
I like you.
I like you as a person.
Prove it. So, number 6 is the Star Wars Battlefront trailers.
I'm not a huge video gamer, but, like, I really want to play this game.
Yeah.
Because, like, it looks like you're going to go into Star Wars and, like, fight the Star Wars.
And that's because when they made the game, they went into the Star Wars archives to pull all the character designs. Right. They went to the places. This is the benefit of practical sets, too, real sets. Yeah. They went to the places where they filmed for Hoth and for Endor and all of that to get the real scenery there, and not just that, but the feeling of it. If they don't have a Kylo Ren character that I can play as in this, I'm going to be upset. I want to see more than just, like, one movie's worth of Star Wars. Yeah. This is the 2 more things tied for number 5. Avengers Age of Ultron and Ant-Man.
Yes.
Now, some of you might be saying, but Nerd Park, Age of Ultron was a better movie than Ant-Man. And you might be right, but the reason that they're tied is because Ant-Man exceeded the expectations. Edgar Wright left the project, and everyone's expectations dropped to the floor.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And then they did a very good job with that movie. Paul Rudd finally showed that he doesn't just have like leading man comedy potential, but he has leading man like action movie potential.
Right.
Whereas Age of Ultron, I mean, they had to follow Avengers. This is probably the funniest I've ever seen a lot of these characters. As soon as I got done with the movie, I said, you know what? That was a masterclass run by Joss Whedon and Robert Downey Jr. on comedic timing. Ant-Man was really hilarious.
Yeah.
That movie was so funny.
And they did keep a lot of Edgar Wright's original script, too, which is what kept it really
could tell.
cool. Yeah, you totally could.
Yeah. Number 4. Number 4. The Deadpool trailer. What is there to say about this that hasn't been said? The trailer came out and it was just everything that you wanted and so much more.
It's just like
all of these things that people thought that we wouldn't get, that we wanted to see. You know, breaking the fourth wall and referencing these other movies. It's just, you know, it's funny. They said our lawyers are going to have a field day with this. They're going to hate us because all the stuff is in here, and they're actually going to reference X-Men Origins Wolverine and say that didn't happen. That movie sucked. Ryan Reynolds is perfect.
Yeah.
He is Deadpool in real life.
It starts off very stereotypical.
It looks like a Fox.
Seems very serious.
X-Men movie to begin with.
I'm in love, but I'm dying, and all this stuff. And then it just freaking turns on its head and is like, oh, here's this random guy who just like listens to all this rap music and like goes around killing people.
Last but not least, when it comes to this Deadpool trailer, I know that Ryan Reynolds would want us to tell everyone this because apparently they told everyone on the set. The music cues for this movie were written in years before Guardians of the Galaxy came out. Number three. There we go. Daredevil, the Netflix series.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is just a good show.
It was just a good TV show.
Let alone a superhero, Marvel, whatever. That was just a good TV.
Yeah.
I mean, Daredevil came out, and Daredevil just set the bar so high just for television, period.
It crapped,
you know,
over
it was
everything.
Number two. The Star Wars The Force Awakens trailers. The original cast is coming back.
Carrie Fisher, yes, and Harrison Ford, yes.
There's basically Oscar-worthy talent in every single person acting on that set. Yeah. And then visually, J.J. Abrams, he gets visuals better than any other director alive.
And don't diss the lens flare. He might not have a lot of lens flare in this one.
The only two that I've seen so far were in that last trailer, and both of them look beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the shots that could have them don't. Yeah. And I think he won't do it as much to separate himself from Star Trek.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they don't look bad.
No.
They never have.
Get over it.
You know you like Star Trek.
Yeah.
We have no idea what the story's going to be yet.
Yeah.
Because the trailers have done such a good job of not showing any of that.
Which is so... It makes my nerd heart sore because it's like I hate it when all these trailers spoil everything for the movie
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Perfect example. I knew that. I watched
Terminator Genesis.
You watched the whole movie before you saw the movie.
Yeah. It's just like... No, why?
Number one. And Disney, you might own our number two, but you don't own our number one. Mad Max Fury Road. I walked out of there saying, wow, that's one of the best action movies I've ever watched.
I actually hated it the first time I saw it because it was so simple. I was like, there's nothing to this at all. But then I watched it again and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is actually really beautiful.
It is.
It's amazing. There's something to be said. There's a complexity in simplicity. My new favorite way to communicate with people is the approving grunt.
The approving grunt. Yeah, no, so Tom was great. Charlize Theron, arguably the standout performance in the movie.
Good. It should have been called Furiosa.
Movie. Yeah.
Like, the thing that I think made it so great is the practical effects that they used, but they didn't... They also paired that with CGI, but they didn't have CGI do all the work.
No, the action that was going on was practical.
Right.
Yeah, down to the guy hanging from the thing playing guitar, which was actually a guy playing a guitar.
Yes.
It wasn't someone, pretending to play guitar while they put stuff over it via sound. It was happening.
Love the Dude Warrior.
Died on that set. Yeah.
So that is the top 10 things we watched. If you agree, we like you. If you don't, I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do. We already filmed it. It's there. We're not going to change it. So if you do disagree, though, if you think there's something that we missed that belongs on this list, feel free to post that in the comics.
Comics.
Put it right in the comics.
Draw us a comic.
Make us a comic on how wrong we are.
Thank goodness for editing. Ready for this? Ready? If you agree with us...
I'm not gonna edit that out.
I know. If you agree with us, that's awesome. If you don't, feel free to put what you think should have been in this video in the comment section below. We should have them probably like it.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up.
Like our page.
Like our Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter. Tumblr.
SoundCloud is the big one.
SoundCloud.
You got it? We are based with our podcast, so find our podcast, Nerd Park Podcast.
All these links are going to be down in the description.
You can find it all.
We're on iTunes if you're an iTunes.
And if you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends. Yes. We want them to see it too. You can't have us to yourselves.
No.
So
we're a gift to the world.
Sharing is caring.
We like to think we're a gift to the world. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Stay nerdy.
Yay.